So we're leaving New York, but the trip's not done yet. After a lot of fun in Manhattan, we're heading a bit outside the city to see what else the Northeast has to offer. Who am I kidding? We're heading a bit outside of the city. Because we're taking a train to Boston. But first, let's grab a bite. As we waited for our train to be ready to board, we found Jacob's Pickles. And while I despise pickles, you don't have to be a fan of those rotten cucumbers to like this place. Because this barbecue smothered pepper jack chicken atop a fresh biscuit not only looks good, it was delicious. And I washed it down with an Abita root beer that, let's say, was just so-so. But those good flavors picked back up with the bacon ranch chicken loaded fries that weren't bad at all. That's pretty good too. And before I knew it, every last bit was gone. The barbecue pepper jack chicken with its mustard-based barbecue sauce was fantastic. And the biscuit it came with was some kind of weird combination of like cornbread and biscuits to make some kind of super moist Franken-biscuit. Franken-biscuit. And it just might be the most tasty biscuit I've ever had. The bacon ranch chicken fries were pretty decent in their own right, but they didn't hold a candle to the barbecue pepper jack chicken. With only a handful of locations and none of them anywhere near me, this is another dish I'm not gonna be able to have again anytime soon. But hey, it's time to catch a train. It was a few hours to get up to Boston, so it was a lot of time spent staring, either out the window or at something playing on my phone. I'm not going to pretend I didn't stream stuff on the journey, but I did attempt to take in my surroundings from time to time and live in the moment of seeing an area of the country I'd never visited before. But I couldn't stare out the window for the entire ride. Luckily, there was also a food car on board for some snacks that eventually had Becca feeling a bit sleepy. But soon thereafter, we had arrived. We are officially in Boston, staying at the Avid Hotel. And it's actually a pretty decent place so far, but I'm hungry. We need to get some food. If it's not clear already, this week is all about food. Wonderful, delicious food. I might be hungry. But something just as tasty is subscribing to this channel and ringing the bell to be notified of future videos. We truly appreciate it. And hey, it's free, so why not click a couple buttons and show us some love? Located along Boston's Fort Point Channel, the Barking Crab originally opened in 1994 as a seasonal outdoor eatery for lobster rolls and long necks. Now, it's open year-round and even has temporary slips along the river available for lunch and dinner visits. With both indoor and semi-outdoor seating under a red and yellow striped tent, it's time to check out how the Barking Crab does seafood. Oh wow, good. Oh, that's good. That's really good. I like that. It's gonna be messy. How do I eat this? It's different. It says it's cold, but I wasn't realizing how cold it was gonna be. I got the Barking Crab Roll, and it said in the menu that the crab meat was cold, but I was still a little surprised at how cold it actually was. And it was also my first experience with a crab roll, and they're kind of difficult to eat. The crab meat doesn't really fit down inside the roll very well, and so each time you're taking a bite, it's all falling out onto the plate. This means you essentially eat all the cold crab meat first, and then an empty roll instead of a sandwich. Still, the fries are pretty decent, but maybe you're asking how is Becca's haddock? Good. I don't know about you, but I like some coleslaw with my fried fish. I'm not sure what I think of the coleslaw. I've never had scallops I like, but I'll try it. I'll try a scallop. Better than I've had in the past, but I mean, it's alright. It's not something I'm rushing home to get, though. Good, good. After a couple of bites, I realized I didn't really care for the coleslaw, so I just tossed that to the side and ate the fish by itself, because it was good enough without it. As for the scallops, I've never been a big fan of scallops, But these were actually the best ones I've ever had. I wouldn't say I'd necessarily loved them, but they were definitely better than what I've had previously. As for the shrimp, it was done quite well, and I think I found out that Becca made the better choice by getting the fisherman's platter than I did with the barking crab roll. But I do have to say the best thing I had there was the barking crab cakes. Still, I'd love to go back someday and sample more from their menu. Even the things I didn't care for too much were still done better than a lot of other places I've been to. But now, it's time for some lazy dessert. And what exactly do I mean by a lazy dessert? Kicking your shoes off and eating it in your hotel. We found Casa Blanca while searching online because I was really craving some type of pastry. What kind? I wasn't so sure, but definitely something sweet and cake-like. And when we saw photos of their pastries, we just had to stop by. I mean, look how gorgeous these are. It's very blueberry-y. It's got like some kind of jellied exterior with blueberries inside it and some kind of blueberry cream. Blueberries, wrapped around blueberries, and wrapped around blueberries. Not sure I like the mango. Let's try the lemon. The lemon's good. Blueberry and lemon are good. So it took a few bites to get used to the flavors and textures of what we got from Casa Blanca. And it didn't really have like frosting on it. It was more of this kind of weird jelly pudding combination. I'm not a baker, so I can't really say what it was, but it did take me a minute to get used to it. But once I got past the unfamiliar, I did actually enjoy them. The lemon was probably my favorite, but these were so different from what I was used to, they didn't really hit that sweet spot that I was looking for. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to visit again, but it's possible that the pastries at Casa Blanca were just a little too advanced for my Neanderthal palate. But either way, I'll see you next week.
Raccy.